Welcome to the Sidelines PH podcast, where we talk anything and everything about sports. My name is Emar Villar, and I will be your host. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of the Sidelines PH podcast. My name is Emar Villar, and together with me today is a climber and an OCR athlete for the Philippine team. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our guest for today, Michelle Suarez.
Hello everyone.
Hello,
Hi, sir.
Michelle. Hello,
Hello, hi,
kamusta
Sir
ka na?
Michael. Okay
Kamusta ka?
naman po. Thanks for having me here.
No. Thank you for saying yes.
Yes,
Mukhang busy ka kasi, no? Hindi naman.
Hindi naman po masyado.
Hindi naman
Actually,
masyado.
ngayong pandemic, medyo pahinga ng konti.
Nakakapahinga.
All the
I see.
training.
Yeah.
Wala pang competition eh. So, medyo
Sige.
nakachill ng konti.
Okay. As I introduced you, you are a climber and an OCR athlete. Hindi ka ba nahihirapan dun sa transition between being a climber and being an OCR athlete? Especially that, I think, di ba, Philippine team ka parehas for climbing and for OCR.
OCR, yes sir. Oo, actually, I played both worlds, no? Medyo mahirap, no? Parang dalawa yung role mo.
Oo.
Pero it's actually a good thing that na meron siyang something in common na what with climbing, also with OCR. There's the common ground that I do, especially when I train. Kaya nakakatuwa rin kasi it complements each other. So, sa climbing kasi, yun talaga yung first, kumbaga may primary sport. So, I just got into OCR recently with an invitation from a friend to join the qualification for the national team. So, what's good naman din, since medyo similar siya, just to give you a background kasi sa OCR kasi medyo malaki ang mundong yan eh. Iba-iba yan kumbaga may kanya-kanya yan discipline.
Okay.
Merong obstacle course na talagang you need endurance for running.
Yeah.
Then you have these short distances na obstacle course racing. So what I do with OCR, I'm a ninja specialist.
Okay.
Yun yung tawag nila sa amin.
Yan yung sprint, no?
Yes, sprint, oo. So ito yung parang ninja warrior.
Yeah,
Mostly more on upper body. So wala masyadong running. So yun. So it's actually similar with climbing. Kaya yun, when I do it, napagsasabay naman, nakakaya naman po.
Same rin. Well, you really need lower body strength. Pero lalo na pag climbing, I think talaga upper body strength yung kailangan mo. Especially with yung American Ninja Warrior na setup, no? Parang puro puro upper body eh. Parang ako, nanginginig ako pag napanood ko yun eh. Hindi ko kaya.
Kaya mo yun, sir.
Sige, pag nag-open ulit ang pretty huge obstacles. I'll pay you and Coach Raven Kwan a visit over there.
Yes, sige sir. Asahan namin yan.
Yan, sige. Of all sports, kasi alam mo, syempre, parang climbing was it's not really that popular in my opinion. Kapag dito sa Philippines, kapag may common person ka na you'd ask around the street and say, "Oy, alam mo ba 'yon, climbing?" Hindi. Alam mo 'yon? I mean, ang alam nila is, climb ng bundok, parang ganoon. So, I'm just curious on
hiking
why,
or mountaineering.
Yes. Yun, I'm just curious on why you of all sports, bakit climbing yung napili mo?
Actually, sir, I started with climbing the mountain din. Hiking.
Okay.
Ano lang yan, parang nag-start lang talaga ako as a weekend hobby, yung pag-climb. So, meron kaming inakyatan na isang bundok sa Montalban. It's called Mount Pamintinan.
Okay.
Then, along the way, pag akyat mo doon, may makikita kang isang part of that mountain na may mga nagra-rock climbing. Sabi ko, wow, cool to ganyan.
Mm-hmm.
Then I discovered na from a friend na nagtatrabaho pala siya sa isang wall climbing gym.
Mm-hmm.
So, sakto, parang sabi niya, gusto niyong itry mag-climbing, ganyan. So, he invited us to go there, dun sa gym na yon.
Okay.
Tapos, sabi ko, nung pagdating ko doon, wow, ano to, first time ko matatry to, kakaiba, di ba? Parang,
Diba?
parang normally kasi yung activities natin is running or
Yeah.
biking
Yes,
or
correct.
gym, di ba? Sabi ko, okay to Then we tried it. Then, I really like it the first time I tried. So, nakakatuwa yung feeling na nakaakyat ka dun sa taas.
Oo.
Diba? So, sabi ko, okay rin pala na, na mag-climb. Kasi you can do it indoors and you can also do it outdoors,
Doors.
diba?
Mm-hmm.
Oo. So, yun. That got me into climbing talaga.
I see. So, there are two disciplines of climbing, tama ba? Or hindi? Sorry, wala ko alam.
Okay, sir. Okay lang po. Actually, yun nga yung sinasabi nila normally kasi pag sinabi mong climbing, akyat sa bundok, akyat sa yun talaga yung alam ng tao eh. Hindi sila masyado familiar to indoor climbing. But it is actually a real sport, no? Doon ko lang din na-discover na totoong sport pala siya. So, with indoor climbing, meron silang tinatawag na disciplines. So, merong speed climbing, pabilisan umakyat, basically, yun yung pinaka-short explanation niya.
Yeah.
Merong standard na taas ng wall, then pabilisan kayo umakyat doon. Then, there's the second discipline that they call lead climbing.
Lead?
Ito yung may lead. Ito yung may tali.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Ito yung normally rin na ginagawa nila pag umaakit ka ng bundok. Siyempre, nakatali ka doon, delikado.
Correct.
So, yun. Parang siya, yun yung pinaka-similar niya to outdoor climbing. Then, the third discipline, we call it bouldering.
Bouldering, okay.
Have you ever heard of that, sir? Bouldering?
Medyo, oo. I have friends, pero, pag sinasabi na yun, okay.
So, yung bouldering naman, from the word boulder, it's a big, parang rock, diba?
Yes.
Rock formation. Pero mababa lang siya, hindi siya kasing taas ng mountain. So, ito yung form of climbing na hindi ka gumagamit ng tali or rope. You just fall on a safety mat.
Oh, okay.
Yun. So, that's the three disciplines in sport climbing.
I see. Ito yung bouldering, yung talagang medyo parang ganyan na yung, di ba?
Okay.
Yung
Mga
pala
sobrang inclined na, na parang hindi na
yung pala yun. Ibig sabihin, yung current facilities natin dito sa we're living in the metro, no? Lahat ng facilities natin dito sa metro, yung tatlong disciplines na yan, pwede mong magawa.
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Yes and no, sorry.
Yes and no, okay.
Yes and no. Kasi, first, we have the lead climbing facility and bouldering facility. That's the most common in the gyms. No? But the speed climbing, yun yung wala. We had before, pero hindi siya yung pinaka-standard na ginagamit to the competitions. Kaya parang yes and no.
Okay.
Parang lang siya, pang practice lang, pero hindi talaga yung competition na standard wall na meron dito.
When you say competition na standard wall, this is international standards?
International standards.
So wala tayong facility na ganyan?
Well, for speed climbing, wala.
Parang ang dami-dami kasing climbing facilities. Yung pala wala palang speed climbing. For something
sa Philippines, wala. Wala po.
Okay. So, do sa climbing, what sport or what discipline do you do?
I do all.
Wow!
Pero, my favorite discipline is bouldering talaga.
Bouldering. Okay, sige.
Kasi, sir, just to share you, sport climbing is an Olympic sport. So, sa Olympics kasi, actually, the rule is you have to be good with the three disciplines. Kaya ganun. Kaya kailangan mo gawin lahat.
Okay.
Yung mga competitions recently, for the past years na nagko-compete ako, it's all combined, yung tatlo. Kaya I train for the three.
I see.
Yun
Okay.
po.
So, yan, well, nasabi mo nga na it is an Olympic sport. I am just curious on how on or where the Philippines is in terms of having a representative in the Olympics
The Olympics
for climbing.
for sport climbing. Actually, it is wow, suntok sa buwan na pangarap para sa climbing yan.
Talaga, suntok pa sa
Yes,
buwan.
sir, opo. Suntok sa buwan talaga yun. Because although climbing has started in the Philippines back in the 90s pa, matagal na po. As you know, hindi talaga siya ganun ka mainstream sport, and a lot of gyms are nagkaroon ng parang downtime yung climbing dito sa Pilipinas. So,
Mhm.
wala talagang na-develop na athletes na na magagaling to represent our country to the Olympics.
Okay.
Although we have several athletes who excelled in Asian level,
Ayan, okay.
naman. Mm-mm. Pero yung into international level, suntok sa one pa yun sa ngayon, sir.
Malay mo, yung batch nyo ngayon ng ang mag niyan, maging
Sana po. Baka hindi ko na batch yan. Baka
Hindi mo na batch
batch na ng future generation.
Sige, in terms of the of our Asian neighbors, sino ba yung parang on top of the game? Which country?
With Asia?
Yeah, with
Sure.
Asia.
Actually, Japan. Japan is also the number 1 in the world.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Medyo matindi pala ang kalaban natin sa Asia, no? Sila pala yung
Yes,
number 1.
sila pa ang host sa Tokyo 2021. 2021.
2021. I see. Sige. Yun, curious lang din ako. Sabi mo nga, you have to be good at all the sports or all of the disciplines yung tatlo. So, dito sa Philippines ba, meron bang competition on speed climbing?
Ngayon, sir, wala.
Wala
Because we
talaga.
don't have the facility.
Yeah.
But for lead and bouldering, we have competitions.
Okay, so which means you would really have to go out of the country to compete with speed climbing.
Yes.
So you did that?
Sir, opo. I did that. I joined Asian Cups and Asian Championships. So, yun po. Doon yung talagang may speed, may lead, may boulder, kompleto po.
I see. Okay. Sabi mo mga kanina, parang nag-die down yung climbing dito sa Philippines. Parang it was a bit it was popular during the 90s. I remember I live in QC, so I live near the Power Up Gym doon. I really intended to go, but
Power of Tandang Sora.
Yes, Tandang Sora, correct. I really wanted to go, but I really didn't have the time or yung mga makakasama to go there. So, at that time, yun, sabi ko, yan pala, power up. Tapos biglang it died down. What do you think is the main cause of it?
I think, based dun sa mga kwento before, kasi started lang, diba, sir, just, ito na, 2000s na.
Okay.
Nung nauso yung climbing before, then pumasok si badminton. Indoor badminton. So, badminton yan. So, kinain nila yung market ng mga gustong mag-indoor activities. So, napunta sa lahat mostly sa badminton. Kaya nag-die down yung climbing. Then, nagkaroon pa ata ng incident before na nagkaroon ng bagyo. So, yung isang facility na malaki somewhere in Metro Manila, Pasig, I think, binagyo yung gym. So, nagsarado din. So, technically, parang nabawasan yung facilities. Kaya medyo nag-die down siya.
I see. Okay. Curious ako.
Pero eventually,
sige.
bumalik din naman siya.
Oo, like ngayon, ang dami kong mga friends din na into rock climbing, lalo na doon sa BGC area. When I go there, para lagi ko sila nakakasalubong sa ROX.
Sa ROX, meron nga kasi doon.
Tapos yung isa na tutuwa ako kasi parang they just try the sport. Tapos ngayon parang yung isa nagko-coach na yata doon or something. Basta
talaga, sir?
Bilis. Ganun. So, ayun, wala lang. Galing din na it's popular.
It's actually addictive naman talaga.
Oo. Tapos
Addict din naman talaga.
ano pa siya, bumili pa siya nung ano bang tawag doon? Para siyang kahoy na nilalagay sa taas ng pintuan. Parang grip, no? Parang pang-practice ng grip.
Grip, oo.
Yeah.
Hangboard.
Hangboard, yes. Bumili pa sila ng hangboard. Sabi mo, may hangboard sila sa condo nila sa BGC. Pwede naman na silang pumunta dun sa ROX anytime. So, wala lang. Mukhang ano sila.
Seryoso na sila talaga.
Seryoso na sila, yes.
Yan yung sign. Pag bumibili ka na ng mga ganun, sir, hangboard, mga pan-training.
Yeah. Sige. How's grassroots development in terms of climbing?
Currently ngayon, sir, we have the national team formed.
Okay.
It went back 2 years ago, 2018. Kasi before, meron na talaga, 2012. Then, nawala. Then, bumalik, nag-form ulit sila as nag-take over yung bagong officers ng federation.
Okay.
They created the national team again. So, yon. So far, doon yung grassroots natin. Then, we have the national team, the Team A, the Team B, and the youth team.
Okay.
So, yun po. We are currently training whenever we have a competition or invitational competitions. So, yun po.
How many are you in the training team? Like, kayo, I'm assuming you're team A malamang, di ba? So, ilan yung kumbaga, elite athletes ba tawag doon? Or talagang team A lang?
Team A.
Okay, team A
lang. Meron silang elite athletes. Sir, currently ngayon, 24. Ata kami, 24 for Team A, Team B. Tapos we have, I think, 10 youth athletes.
So, mga 34 for the Philippine team. Okay.
Opo.
How did you get into the Philippine team?
Yun, sir. Nung I started competing, I tried competing pala with international competitions. I started with Hong Kong. Okay. So, meron sila doon ginaganap na local competition nila, Hong Kong Bouldering Championship. So,
okay.
We joined there. Then, I won the first for the amateur level. So, I got an invitation to join the nationals for dito po sa Philippines to be part of the national team. Then, yon, I started with Team B. Then, eventually, nung nag-nationals ulit, I got into top 4, I think. Then, yon, nakapasok po ako sa Team A. Kasi you have to be on the top 6 para makapasok ka sa Team A.
Oh, okay. I see. Nung last SEA Games ba, may climbing na event? Wala. So, nag-focus ka sa OCR na, no?
Yes, opo, sa OCR. Sabi ko nga wala climbing, I would try my luck in OCR.
Yeah. Well, you did well. Like I was, kasi
sinuwerte naman.
When I interviewed Raven Kwan and I asked him who would be or who are the athletes to look out for, parang who are on the top of their games right now. Your name popped up dahil you won gold, right? You won gold.
Yes,
sprint,
sir.
Yes? Yan. So, at least, no? Wala man lang climbing, at least nasa OCR ka.
Yun nga rin, at least meron pang, may opportunity for OCR. And yes. Also, I discovered that meron din pala akong skills for that kind of sport.
Correct.
Nakakatuwa rin kasi I get to explore myself also.
Yeah. Wala namang conflict ito with the climbing team.
Actually, sir, nung SEA Games season, hindi rin ako nakapag-compete with the timing, though we have a competition. So,
okay.
May conflict talaga. I had to sacrifice also. Pero, yun, I think that's the conflict lang pag nagkasabay.
I see. Pero kasi SEA Games yung isa. Yung isa, what competition was that one?
That's a local competition.
Okay, local. Speaking of local competitions, ano yung...
Ay, also, may international rin pala na hindi ako nakasali. Nakalimutan ko na. Yung Asian Championships last year, hindi ako nakasali for climbing.
Okay.
because we're preparing for SEA
For
Games.
SEA Games. But ayan yeah, speaking of competitions, sabi mo nga you were about to compete sana with the local tournament. Ano yung mga tournaments na malaki dito sa Philippines?
Actually, we have yung mga gyms dito, they organize fun competitions. So, anyone can join that, even the beginners and all.
Okay.
Then, yung mga malalaki naman, what they look forward to is the nationals, of course. Because doon sila namimili ng athletes to be part of the national team.
Yeah.
Of course, the athletes na papadala for international competitions. So, yon. And also, neighboring countries, they also held competitions that's open for other Asian countries. So, yun din po.
I see. So, sige. Since hindi ka nakasama dun sa competition for climbing, ano yun? May sanction ka ba? Wala naman.
Wala naman, sir.
Okay.
Actually, kasi, just to share with you din, no? Yung aming organization ngayon, we are not yet accredited with the POC and the Philippine Sports Commission.
Talaga? Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
So they're not really strict if I go to OCR team kasi ang tawag dito, wala naman pa kaming ganong policies ba, kumbaga. Yun po. So, very supportive naman yung aming president sa climbing community.
Okay,
actually, di lang ako dalawa kaming climber na si Mick Suarez.
Oh, yeah.
Siya rin, we're teammates talaga with the climbing team. Then, we also go into OCR, kaming dalawa.
She was
napapayagan kami.
She teaches in Power Up also, right? Si Mick.
Yes. She's a coach. And she's the manager of the gym.
Oh, I see. Yan, actually, yun yung sana... yun sana yung tatanong ko kasi since it's an Olympic sport, like if you have competitions, are there like points that you need to do or you need to have para makasama ka sa Olympics?
Yes, sir. Opo. There are several qualifications. Sobrang higpit na qualifications, competition for the Olympics, no. For the Asia, you have to win the Asian Championships because they only get 2 athletes per continent. Tama ba?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2 athletes per continent. So, for Asia, that's only 2. Then, you have to, if hindi ka makapasok sa Asia, you have to win on the World Championships. So, mas mabigat yun.
Oo, yung isa Asia, tapos yun, world na.
Oo. So, yun lang yung chance mo, sir. Kailangan mo manalo ng Asian Championships or either kailangan mo makapasok sa top 6 in the World Championships.
I see. Sige, so, how are we compared to our neighboring countries in terms of climbing? Well, of course, Japan, sabi mo nga, we're number 1. Pero...
They're number 1.
Yeah. So iba, like Southeast Asia, parang ano yung nakikita mo na position ng Philippines in terms of climbing within Southeast Asia?
With Southeast Asia, di naman tayo last, sir. Yun yung good news ko.
Okay.
Tayo last.
Okay. Buti na lang.
Actually, sa tingin ko currently sa status ngayon, siguro it's safe to say na siguro nasa pang-4th tayo. The best ngayon for Southeast Asia is Indonesia. Because they've been excelling talaga with the World Cups, World Championships. So nakakasabay sila.
Okay.
Then the next is I think would be Singapore and then Thailand and maybe Philippines. But before, way back 2012 Southeast Asian Games, we actually won gold for climbing.
Oh, okay. Wait. 2012 may ano Asian Games ba? SEA Games? SEA Games, SEA Games. Bakit ngayong year na to walang SEA Games?
Wala nga po kaming
facility.
nag-asikaso for the
Ay, okay.
federation.
Asikaso. Okay.
Kasi kababalik lang ng national team for climbing 2 years ago, di ba, sir?
Okay,
So,
gets.
kasi since matagal siya nawala, I think nag-lapse yung accreditation with DOC and all. So, parang wala nag-asikaso and all.
So,
Ngayon
talagang start from scratch pala yung
Yes, parang ganon. Ganon lang
okay.
status ngayon ng climbing community or climbing federation namin.
Okay. Well, ganun talaga. I mean, ganun talaga. May aberya ng konti, pero at least ang importante you're there again, no?
Yes, it's going back again.
Yes. Sino ang mga top players ngayon sa climbing? Like if I were to watch out for climbing, who are the Philippine athletes that I would have to look out for?
For Philippine team, sir ba or Asia or world?
Sige, Philippines muna. Philippines muna.
For Philippines, ang top athletes namin ngayon for the male, we have Gerald Verosil. Siya yung ranked number 1.
Okay.
So, he also won the Asian Cup last 2018. Then, other than that, for the female, several names like Sia Mickey Harris. So, she's the number 1 po.
Oh, okay. Wag na yung Chelle. Alam naman natin yun.
Wag na yun. Wag na yun. Joke lang. Ayun. Siguro, sir, kasi kami were ranked by discipline.
Okay.
Yun. Pero overall, ayan, si Ate Mick. Then ako, I was the lead champion for last year.
Wow, congratulations.
Si Gerald kasi he's good with both disciplines, lead and boulder.
Okay. Nice.
Yan, sir. Then, opo.
Sa Asian? Sino yung...
Asian?
Yeah.
Pinaka number 1 athlete talaga siguro sa whole world ngayon is for the guys, Japanese, si Tomowa Narasaki.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his name.
So all of the disciplines to, no? Yung tatlong
really
disciplines.
Really good, opo. Then for the female, actually, si Akio Noguchi, but the number 1 female athlete is Slovenian,
okay.
Second yung si Akio Noguchi from Japan.
But hey, 1 and 2 for Japan, hindi na masama,
Japan, yeah. Kaya nga sila, sir, overall.
Okay, question. Ano ang meron sa Japan na wala sa Philippines? Huwag mo na sagutin yung facilities kasi alam na natin yung facilities. Parang, kumbaga, what makes them number 1? Ba't hindi natin kaya? In your opinion?
In my opinion, I think talaga the Japanese naturally, they're very disciplined, diba? When it comes to training and all. And they started really young. Bata pa lang sila. Iba na yung kumbaga, iba yung mga bata sa Japan they're really trained in sports, bata pa lang. Di katulad sa atin, di ba? Bata pa lang, naglalaro na ng Mobile Legends. O puro computer, di ba? So, hindi sila masyado sports-minded. I think sa Japan, ganun kasi sila kinrain and ginugroom ng mga parents nila, di ba?
Yeah.
So, they're really active in school, etc. Yun yung preferred activities. So, I think that's a main thing. No, na it's a good thing that they started really young. Then as it goes, they grow older. Andyan yung community, andyan yung facility. So talagang magiging magiging world-class athletes.
Actually, yung pagkasabi mo,
yun ay naisip ko.
Nung pagkasabi mo na they were disciplined, parang ako kasi most of the kasi most of the sports or most of the people that I've interviewed in this podcast, yan talaga sinasabi pag Japanese, they are very disciplined talaga in terms of training, in terms of their style of play. So mukhang talagang nakuha nila yung culturally embedded na rin in terms of sport. So well, sana ma-incorporate din natin yun. Hindi lang puro Mobile Legends, tsaka
Sir, magaling naman tayo sa esports, di ba?
Oo, actually. Oh, napanood
Yun
ko.
naman yung effect naman.
Napanood ko yung sa sa SEA Games na esports eh. Tuwan-tuwa pa
Oo,
ako noon
power
eh.
class naman din talaga yung mga Pilipino.
Oo naman. Pero syempre, maganda pa rin kung lahat nabibigyan ng or lahat ng sports, especially climbing, lahat yan mabibigyan ng exposure, no?
Exposure,
Maging
opportunity.
mainstream kahit paano. Okay, sige. If you were to head the Philippine, ano ba tawag doon? A Sports Association of the Philippines. If you're going to lead, sabihin lang natin hypothetically, you would lead the Sports Association of Climbing here in the Philippines. What would you do to improve our current state?
Hirap naman tanong mo, sir, pang Miss Universe. Dahil lang pawisan ako.
Sige, pwede. Take your time.
To answer your question, actually, of course, if ako yung mag-lead ng climbing community, no, dapat talaga may love ka for the sport. You have that passion to work no matter what happens, no matter what the obstacle is, diba? Dapat nandyan ka para sa federation, for the community. First, of course, I want to, given the current situation of climbing, not many athletes are into it, not many people knows the sport. Of course, first I want to promote it, diba? You want to promote it by, giving the climbing a brand na anyone can try it. Kasi meron tayong preconception na climbing, mahirap yan. Kailangan may upper body ka dyan. Kailangan ganyan-ganyan, blah, blah, blah.
Actually, yun yung sa akin.
Pero if you want, diba, sir? But if you are be able to introduce the climbing as a friendly sport, beginner-friendly sport that anyone can do it, then I think mas maganda na mag-a-attract doon into more people, mas may expose yung climbing, diba? So, yun, it will bring spotlight to the sport then. Then, siguro, other than that, with the current athletes then, I want then for them to gain more exposure para malaman din nila kung ano ba yung nangyayari with the other countries, paano pa yung sport doon, gaano kalaki yung scope ng sports sa ibang bansa versus dito sa Philippines, diba? Malalaman mo lang yun kapag nakapag-compete ka sa labas. Doon mo ma-compare yung sarili nyo, yung country nyo to the other countries, diba?
Yeah.
And also, very, very important is to have a facility for climbing. Yun talaga. Sabi mo, gas-gas na, sir, eh. Pero, I think yun din yung pinaka-important. Kasi, kapag may facility ka, it will all bring together na mas makakapag-training yung mga tao, mas makaka-experience yung mga gustong maka-experience, diba?
Lalo na sinabi mo, in terms of speed climbing, wala pa nga tayo talagang facility. So, how do you expect us to compete with other neighboring countries?
With other countries.
Yeah, kung wala rin talaga. Yes.
But
very
there are good thing then, sir, since medyo nagkakaroon ng resurgence with the climbing community and yung iba, merong mga private companies na nagkaka-interest na mag-invest into climbing gyms. So yun, meron pong mga on the works na gusto magtayo ng mga speed climbing and other facilities. Kaya lang nakakalungkot kasi COVID pandemic happened.
Oh yes,
diba?
Yes, of course.
So hopefully it wouldn't stop the plans of having that in the future. So yun, sana hindi mawala.
Sana hindi. Hindi yan. We will all rise up together in terms of this COVID pandemic, no? And it's good na may mga companies na or private institutions na gustong mag-sponsor, mag-invest dito sa sport na to, because quite frankly, climbing is not really, I'm not sure, parang ang tingin ko kasi ang tingin ko kasi climbing is not a height-based sport. I mean, yes, you have to reach others, yung mga...
Oh, yeah. That's true, sir.
Diba?
Actually, hindi porket matangkad ka may advantage ka sa
Diba?
climbing.
Diba?
Lalo na
Exactly.
basketball.
Exactly. So, parang, I think this is, again, it's not a biased opinion, but given na ito yung nagiging usapan natin, I think the Philippines or Filipinos are also built for climbing din. So, kailangan lang talaga na ma-feature sila mainstream or magkaroon lang ng ingay, no?
Yeah, magkaroon lang ng ingay, and of course facility.
Yes.
Yun. Kaya, I think kaya natin.
Yeah. Okay. What would be your forecast for climbing in the next 5 years? Barring COVID-19. Parang tanggalin natin yung factor ng COVID.
Tanggalin natin.
Yes. Kunwari walang COVID-19.
Hindi siya dumating.
Kunwari wala. What do you think, or where do you think the Philippines is in terms of climbing 5 years from now?
Actually, it's looking bright for
okay.
Philippine climbing, no?
Mm-hmm.
Philippine community. Of course, since bumalik nga po, nagkaroon ng resurgence in climbing communities, and there are gyms na currently operating, and there are more gyms na planning to open.
Mm-hmm.
And yun nga, merong mga private companies who are looking into it, especially with the introduction or debut ng climbing into Olympics.
Yeah.
So, positive yung forecast namin with climbing, especially here din sa Pilipinas.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun, sir, hopefully it grows and grow bigger as the next years to come.
Yeah.
And nakakatuwa rin kasi we're starting to form the grassroots. We have the youth team na.
Yeah,
so we're holding the kids then to compete, and we're exposing them to local competitions muna, hopefully international competitions din.
Mm-hmm.
So yun, siguro we're working rin towards into sponsorships of private companies,
mm-hmm.
and also the help of and support of the government.
Yeah.
Kaya nakakatuwa din kasi marami na rin pong plano for the climbing community.
Okay. That's nice. Lalo na yung sinabi mo na yung youth team na nabuo na. No? Iba rin talaga kasi if you train, the kids na at an early age talaga na okay. Kasi iba yung habits, iba yung values, iba talaga yung yung skill na makukuha mo if you start from very young.
Young age, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the sport looks bright, no? For the next years. Sana mawala na si COVID.
Sana lang, sir. Yun talaga ang wish namin.
Yes.
Para matuloy lahat ng nasa drawing board.
Mahirap
lahat ng plano, kumbaga.
Mahirap yan kapag i-erase yung drawing board. Ayoko yung mga ganun eh.
Oo nga mahirap yung 2020, sir. Sana hindi na paliburahin sa kalendaryo.
As in, sobrang nainis talaga ako. The beginning of the year, I really jotted down all of my plans and all. Kaya lang, wala eh. Yun yung nangyari.
Yun nga, sir.
Yeah.
Even with the athletes, all the competitions are, moved to next year. Yes, all the trainings then.
So ikaw, paano ka nga nag-training ngayon? How do you keep yourself, fit, condition?
Actually, nagme-maintain naman kami, sir. So, parang technically off-season to. So, mostly we do strength and conditioning lang. Walang sarado lahat ng climbing gym. So,
yun nga eh.
Kami nag-train. Tease muna. Hangboard, di ba?
Hangboard, yeah.
Hangboard lang muna. So, yun. Ganun lang, sir. As long as hindi mo naman pabayaan yung sarili mo, para pagka game time na ulit, it's easier to come back. Diba? Nasa condition. Hindi naman on your 100%, but still, na-maintain mo yung fitness level mo. That's what's important. Kasi mahirap rin, sir, na sobrang bugbugin mo yung sarili mo to training dahil yung immune system mo baka bumaba naman masyado.
That's
And we still
correct.
have a virus out
Oo
there,
nga.
diba?
Tama din naman. Tama din.
So, what's important now is to keep yourself healthy and maintain. So, pagka training season na ulit, and it's not that hard to go back again.
Yeah, correct.
Opo.
As a parting shot, parang ano yung masasabi mo sa isang tao na gustong mag-try ng climbing?
Siguro, I will just sum up it to the three words lang siguro.
Yan, maganda yan. Sige, ano yung 3 words na yan?
Sa akin, just do it.
Wow! Sponsored ka ba ng ano? Hindi pala.
Hindi. Pwede rin, sir.
Pwede.
Oo. Keep on exploring. Ganun lang naman. Never stop exploring. You'll never know. Ako, I didn't know that I'm good at it not until I tried it, diba?
Yeah.
So, it all starts with your curiosity to try. So, wag ka ma-intimidate about climbing. It's not all upper body because you use your legs to go up.
Okay. That's good to know.
Diba, sir? Akala kasi it's just like climbing a ladder, basically.
Okay. That's one way to put it. No? I never thought of it that way. Alam ko lang
Kasi
talaga.
you got intimidated with the rocks and all.
Yeah.
Pero just imagining yourself climbing a ladder. That's it. You just use your arms and feet.
Nice.
It's a whole body workout, to be honest.
So kahit na anong, like, ako, beginner ako, kayang-kaya naman yan.
Yes, oo naman, sir.
Yeah.
So, kayang-kaya naman yan. Actually, we have a lot of friends na talagang at first intimidated sila, ganyan. Pero magugulat ka, parang regularly nakikita mo na sila sa gym, you know. And nahuhook din talaga sila. Kasi I think one of the best things din with climbing is the community. So, we have a really small community pero very friendly. Pag pumunta ka sa gym, lahat ng tao makakausap mo. Hindi katulad ng ibang, hindi naman sa pero ang hirap kasi pagka pumasok ka sa ibang sport, minsan walang magtuturo sa'yo, walang mag-guide sa'yo, diba?
Yeah.
I think that's a big factor then to try to what keeps you going or what keeps you going back to the activity is if meron nag-encourage, diba? So, yung with the climbers kasi, very encouraging yung environment. So, nakakatuwa din.
Galing.
Kasi kailangan may naghihila sa'yo ng tali, diba?
Yeah.
So, it's basically yun din.
Na kailangan may nagbebelay. Yes.
May nagbebelay sa'yo. So, doon pa lang you feel the support already.
Correct.
Literally.
It's nice to hear all of these stories na how the sport evolved or how it, well, let's just say it died down and now it's in a resurgence. And well, I do hope that climbing would really have a place in Filipinos' hearts and Filipinos' mainstream mindset na sana they try climbing then. Not just not just for sport, but it's sabi mo it's a whole body workout. So people should try it talaga.
Yes, sir.
Chelle, if there are listeners out here who would want to know more about climbing or who would want to contact you regarding anything about climbing or may questions pa sila about this one, where can they find you? Any social media channels that they can reach you?
Yes, sir. Actually, you can follow me on Instagram. I have my account is Chelle Suarez, Helllt Suarez.
Okay.
So Chelle Suarez, you can follow me on Instagram, and I'm planning to launch also a YouTube channel.
Nice.
Hopefully to share more about climbing, and you can also follow Power Up Climbing and Climb Central Manila if you want to go to the gyms. So they also, you can see the rates and all, where are they located. And also for bouldering, there's a bouldering only gym here in the Philippines. It's called Bouldering Hive in Makati. So you can also check that out.
Okay. Climb Manila is in Pasig, tama ba?
Lime Central, Manila. Yes. Mandaluyong. Sorry.
Mandaluyong.
Near Pasig.
Medyo fine line lang naman or fine borderline lang
Tatawid
naman.
ka lang, Pasig.
Correct. Okay. Sige. Chelle, maraming salamat for saying yes and for taking time out to be in this show. I do hope na nag-enjoy ka rin na kausap ako.
Oo naman, sir. It's my pleasure to share about climbing.
Nice. And thank you everyone for listening in this episode of the Sidelines PH podcast. We hope to see you again in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you so much.